and tigers in bed, but I'm scared of loving you. I'm not scared to perform at a sold out affair, but I'm scared of loving you. And the only one thinks it's an impossible task. Why it don't last? Is that too much to ask? Why do we love when love seems to hate us? I'm not scared of lions and tigers in bed, but I'm scared of love.
What's poppin', gang? It's your boy Poppy JB here, and we are here with another episode of the What? That's podcast. Hashtag TTOT podcast. Use that everywhere. Today. Should I say tonight? What we're going to be talking about tonight is love. Why are you afraid of it, Evan? Today we want to talk about love. And more so, why am I afraid of that shit? You know what I'm saying? Ghetto is it's just like, I'm not afraid to say, or should I say, I'm not going to be the first to, I'm trying to stop cussing. I'm not going to be the first man to say that, yes, I am afraid of love. Sometimes, what do y'all say? You gotta, what? To say that shit.
Does that sound like something you want?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, you'll never get it.
You gotta get to the gutter but honest truth. And, you know, they say the first step to fixing your problem is admitting that you have a problem. Before we even continue on with this think piece, I'm gonna call on my audience, cause we be all night live. I'm screaming. But love someone. Why am I afraid of it? Why are we afraid of it? It's more so for me, because like I always like to come in and always tell y'all, I know 98% of my problems. I just gotta work on fixing them. It really stems from
What the fuck?
Before I continue on with this, I'm gonna call on all of my audience and viewers. Come on, just cry. Just cry. Come on, cry good. Yep, close. Blow my weed and some wishes.
Shut up, my bitch.
We're gonna unlock the hoods, because we're trying to lock all the way up on me. My brain's going through like a fucking trauma. What should we call it? What is it? Trauma drill. What is it? Fire drill? Or something whatever the case may be right now. 2 seconds, please.
We'll be back with more hashtag TTOT podcast after this quick commercial break.
In the smallest simple form,
I'm afraid of love.
I had to ask myself the question, being afraid of love. What makes you afraid of love? How did you come to this conclusion? How do you figure you're afraid of love? Pretty much. When the question that really begins everything is, what is love? It's a hard question that I still have troubles with answering
To this day!
I feel like I know how to give love, and I know how to give light, love, support, in my versions, and I know my ways of giving love, quote unquote. But what's still kind of mind-boggling to me is, what is love? Kind of, sort of, like when I sit to myself and act and think, I feel like I know how to give love, but I don't know how to receive love, and that's because, once again, what is love? It's a question I had to ask myself, and that's a question I still ask myself. I mean, we can go down paths and rabbit holes of seeing why or how do you feel this way. And of course, if you are a listener of the hashtag TTOT podcast and you are before, I didn't necessarily grow up with love being displayed accurately, and or love expression was like not really a thing, you know? Like didn't really know how to express love. I didn't really know how to identify love, so I didn't know what love was. Shit, it wasn't really too much of a topic that made growing up. It wasn't like love wasn't a topic. It really wasn't discussed outside of everybody giving the old phrase, "Oh, I love you." You know, and that's really when family, quote unquote, family was around and all that other shit. But like in the house every day, basic, "Oh, I love you," this, and that. That wasn't a thing. We wasn't really the family of hugs and all that other shit. And before you start crying and all of that other shit, hold your sympathy. I don't need it. I am not one of them I'm not one of the people to come out crying about everything and I'm like, "Oh my God, woe is me, I'm a victim." Yeah. What's Sarah supposed to say? Yeah. Yeah, you don't gotta feel bad for me. I'm just going through and doing vocal shadow work, I guess you should say, and more so analyzing out loud, because I always analyze in this dome piece that I got on my neck. But yeah, so I didn't really know what love. Well, I kind of sort of don't know what love is, though. It's weird. I feel like I know how it feels ish in moments. You know, you have those momentary things, and we know unconditional love when you do something for a person, or you do damn near almost anything. So like I know what love is when it comes to me protecting people that I love and hold close and how I feel about them. But like my thing is, my stuff is I know that everybody in the world is different, and I'm one of them things like mine. Not everybody's like me, and I understand that everybody's love language and form of expression is different. And I've always kind of knew that because I've always known that everybody in the world is different. So my dilemma becomes me knowing how to express love in my way and show it to and my craft and putting the energy into what I put it into. I'm talking about love, but I don't know how to receive that shit. Sometimes I feel like that's a little hard for me to receive it, and I know that comes from like trust issues and shit like that. But it's like I didn't really say "I love you" quote unquote to people like that. A, frequently, number one, and then B, I really didn't say it and mean it, quote unquote. Until I really was probably about like 20 something, and that's a problem. All of those times in life, or should I say the few times in life, you encounter motherfuckers and they hit you with the "Oh, I love you," blah 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 blah. Even back in the day, and maybe that could, being emotionally closed off could have contributed as well. When people used to say that shit, it used to I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say trigger me, but I used to be like a little stuck, awkward, like,
me too. Me too.
But I used to didn't really mean it. It was just like, I only said it because you said it to me. Type shit, you know what I mean? I really, really get to feel all of that often. The many emotions that we have discovered and experienced in life back then. And I'm not necessarily about living in the past. I'm more about, because you really going back unless you got a time machine. If you got a time machine, let me know, because I'm trying to go beat my ass for not saving money from back in the day. But either way, another conversation for another day. I don't like to harp on the past, but it's always good for any and everybody to live with reflection, of course, and live with personal analyzation. I feel like we all need to be able to remember what the fuck happened, remember what the fuck we did, remember how shit really went, to accurately process your emotions and process okay, how did I do things, or how did I get through this, or how and why did I feel how I felt in those situations. That's my only interest of revisiting the past, unless it's a great memory too. No.
But I'm not really too much into like going backwards and all that other shit, because you want to stay back there. You want to go up there, if you know what I mean.
I think also to what has contributed to my difficulty of acceptance of love is basically, it's really from other. You have a lot of people around that either say, or I ain't gonna say that either, that say they gonna do some shit
Sugar honey iced tea.
voluntarily. You ain't never asked, you ain't never wondered, you ain't never even imagined. But
Mudsuckers.
I'm talking about whether it was adults, my mom's friends, my mom, shit, back then my dad, any adult, honestly, they really kept around and give me a whole bunch of empty ass boxes. Empty boxes meaning, oh, I'm gonna give you a box and tell you it's a gift, but when I open that box, it ain't shit in there. You're giving people empty promises and empty boxes. I'm just giving a whole bunch of those. And once again, I'm not that out of it. I'm the type of person, even to this day,
Twitch.
don't ever tell me you're gonna do something, or tell me you're gonna give me something, and some shit like that, and then don't do it. Especially when they're asked for the Swiss. And I don't even like asking motherfuckers for shit. Swiss. Anyhow, but it's really like, you ain't gotta lie to me, Craig. Like, Craig, why you gotta lie to me? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. Furthermore, with no explanation. And my thing is, I understand that life is life, and shit does happen, and sometimes stuff out of our control does prevent us from really keeping our words at the present moment for whatever we say. I understand that, but you ain't get no answers because niggas will say something and then they act like they ain't never did said it 18 months after they done said that shit. All the other shit, that's what I'm trying to say. Either way, that or people giving you stuff, and this is whether it was more so family, because I'm very critical of the friend circles that I curate or I allow myself to be in, because if I want to choose, I can't choose my family.
Wait.
I can choose my motherfucker. So it wasn't too much with the friends, but more so, family too. Hit you with the, and this is also kiddie shit. Everybody's immature. They give you something and then try to take it back and or hold the shit over your head. Well, if I didn't do such and such, or if it wasn't for me, this wouldn't have happened. And if I didn't do such and such, this wouldn't have did that. Now, if I didn't give you this, you wouldn't have. Like, you can suck dick twice, from the back, the front, and the side, east and west. Didn't ask for this shit. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And those were laced with the words of, it's because I love you. And in the moment of getting those, or getting something from somebody, or somebody doing something for you, and they want to always lace that shit with the, well, you already know it's because we're family, and I love you, blah, 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 blah. But then as soon as some dumb shit happens, as soon as something don't go their way, it's always throwing that shit up in your face. Motherfuckers really ain't gonna do that shit. Like, if you wanted to hold on leverage, or if you wanted leverage to do some shit, you go fucking
Bring out some monkey bars and go play with your mama.
I mean,
Get somebody else to do it.
but either way, and I know those are like frivolous or unnecessary. Those could be used as monetary examples, but those are just small examples of what I mean. Because y'all know I really don't like going into 29 years long worth of stories, and y'all know I can talk. If you really know me, I fucking talk. And I ain't gonna do that too. And furthermore, I'm not trying to edit a solo conversation. But yeah. So at some point, it became somebody doing something for you, or somebody giving you the quote unquote, or showing you a monetary quote unquote. Because that was the thing too. I think a lot of people in our community don't really know how to express, and this is just from my experience and from shit that I've seen and I've observed. I think because sometimes when parents miss their mark, quote unquote, if they're not necessarily doing right by their kids or actually properly raising them, whatever that means to you, parents often try to later in life compensate for their lack of being there for you. Or should I say their trial and error mishaps. And within raising you, so whether it's spending more time or, you know, treating you how you shouldn't be treated or misplacing their anger and all the other good shit. A lot of parents try to monetarily make up for that shit, meaning they try to pay for something or they try to give you money or they try to buy sugar to A, distract you from what their fuck was, and B, try to make up for that shit, as opposed to really explaining what happened and why it happened, how it happened, apologize for the Swiss cheese, move on, as opposed to getting counseling, maybe having somebody to talk to, as opposed to actively putting their effort and energy into making it up with their self and their own energy and presence, whether they need to work on themselves or sharpen their fucking skills of being a parent, etc., etc. It's a whole bunch of different scenarios and different analogies and different ways that a parent can go about being a little bit more present or making up for what they have missed, I feel, in their child's life. But a lot of times they just throw gifts, throw money, oh, let me get you some McDonald's. That's some fat nigga shit. Some bullshit, you know what I mean? As opposed to really taking accountability for their bullshit and then actually showing you a better way. And I can understand, like I always say, I get, especially going through life and being a human in general, I get, we all have our own lives before, you know, parents have kids, before anybody, you know, whatever. We have our own life, we are our own people, whether you're codependent, dependent, independent, INDEPENTENT, do you know what that means? ADHD. No, but we're all individually human. And we all individually have a story. We all individually have a life. However that goes, good, bad, or indifferent. Before and or after parents and kids. So I can understand that if you don't have the tools to build a house, if you don't have the tools to build a fortress, also too, if you have not done something before, how can you teach somebody else to do something? Especially if you're not self-aware or actively working on yourself. So I can understand and get how generations before never were shown a different way as far as love, other than slave mentality. You know, do as I say, not as I do. Stay in line.
Nigeria.
Swift. Flash. No, you can't go out on the bridge. You know, that slave mentality, I'ma whoop your ass. That man beat my ass. That's not funny. Oh my gosh. Anyway, slave mentality, okay, I'm gonna beat your ass until you quote unquote get right. I'ma fuck you up until you do what the fuck I told you to do. Or I'm gonna scream, holler, and yell and mentally and emotionally invalidate and annihilate how you are, in order to get their way of whatever they told you to do and to make them feel better about whatever the fuck they need to do.
Ring a bell, bitch.
And I'm not saying discipline is, I feel, you know, sometimes needed. Abuse is not. Reprimanding effectively, especially when you're displaying a positive conflict resolution example for your child, and you actively show them that violence necessarily isn't always the way to go, or it shouldn't always be a response when you don't get your way as an adult.
Does it ring a bell, bitch?
You know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that the slave mentality was just passed the fuck on from generation to generation to generation. But I feel like we have a responsibility as adults, especially if we gonna be popping
Pussycat doll.
and slinging all over the webs, all over the globe, and you know, procreating these little termites. The fuck. We have a responsibility to not only get our shit together, cause I got some place to go, and I wanna go.
Are you done? Thank you.
Nah, but we have. I feel like you should really have the responsibility to get your shit together. If not for you, for your child, Margaret. What are you doing? Get your old ass up.
Discovery Houston.
Get your
your shit together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. And if you gotta take it somewhere, you know? Take it to the shit store and sell it. Or put it in a shit museum. I don't care what you do. You just gotta get it together.
And Tyrone.
Get your shit together.
I'm just gonna say Margaret, and Stanley. You get y'all shit together, you know what I mean? And not only so you can present your best self and be your best self for your child, but so you don't subconsciously, spiritually, and unknowingly pass on your trauma and generational pathology, whether it be positive or negative, to your child. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of people really stop and think about that shit. Like, especially, and hear me out before y'all get the fuck upset. And I'm saying this because women are creators. You know, we are, creation. But women's is the ones that be incubating them babies in the uterus and in the womb. So you have the most connection in general to humanity, honestly, because you grow up shit. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to really get your shit together, and men as well. Just because you ain't holding a baby, that can be venom, or that can be gold. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure your shit is right, because you're still gonna have that connection to that child as well as have for you. All of the trauma, all of the toxic pathologies and shit like that, all of the unstable emotions, possibilities of negative, dark thoughts that you necessarily don't want to handle up on, and all that other shit. And then you have a fucking child with whomever you have a fucking child with, and then you wonder why your child's 15 and gonna do the exact same thing that you have went through, and or feeling the
exact same feelings that you have felt
when you were going through that stage at their age. You wonder why that shit passed on? Because that has to do with pathology.
energy, the karmatic sphere, infinity.
The type of, how the world works, kind of sort of. You know what I mean? It's just that shit loops, cycles. The bloodline and how it runs down. That's why you have to be vigilant when you are breaking generational curses, to do that shit so you don't see that and pass that on to your kids. But of course, there's too many motherfuckers out here that's popping and slinging frivolously that don't even know they got kids. So yeah. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Love comes with a lot of uncertainty. Uncertainty for me is a huge trigger point. That's like one of my
biggest trigger points,
shall I say. And I've been working on that, so it's not as big as it used to be. God is good on it. But love is uncertain. Uncertainty leads to not knowing shit, of course, because it's pretty, you're not uncertain about something, you don't know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean? Uncertainty for me, I'm not a fan of, because I never was a fan of spontaneity like that, and working on that too. Spontaneity, and I can't even really say spontaneity if I knew it was gonna be positive, because if it's spontaneous, once again, you really don't fucking know what it's gonna be. And my trauma from uncertainty really just came from not necessarily being taken care of properly. Let's just go there with it. I just never was necessarily taken care of properly or taken into consideration properly. A kid, teenager, adult, whatever. To this fucking day. It be what it be. Don't cry for me. I'm just saying. Like, that's how I felt properly. So, as a child growing up, if you know you only have a limited control or no control over a situation or how shit's about to really map out for you, and then you're met with a whole bunch of either vitriol, bullshit, lack of discipline, parenting, and whatever else in between. And of course, now as an adult, I'm definitely aware of the notion of the other side of uncertainty being infinite possibilities. So you really shouldn't be worried too much about all of the negative shit that could happen, because it didn't happen, number one, yet. And I said yet, but it didn't happen, number one, and then two, you truly really do. Well, I can't say me because I'm a psychic, but for commoners,
You truly don't really know what's really going to happen until it really happens.
I get that as an adult. But as a kid, it was like if you used to either some dumb shit happening or something being delayed or your hopes being given up on or your hopes being snatched out your face. Not like that. That's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? When you have been lied to, that trust is fucked up so much. It's like you didn't really know what to believe. So being uncertain about some shit, it wasn't my friend. Because it's like you used to some shit, but it's like when being lied to is a possibility and a factor and it happens often, it's like, nah, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of shit after a while, you're just like, nah, I'm alright. I don't even want you to tell me shit. Like, I don't need you to tell me anything about anything, or not even that. Because nothing really went as planned. But it's just like, nah, I'm cool, I'm sure, I'm great. I don't need your bullshit. I don't need you to sit here and tell me when to do something wrong. And yeah. So when you're used to these filthy lies told about my wife, shout out to Chris. When you're used to that being a possibility of uncertainty, or should I say a possibility of anything, that was like, oh, okay, this is a common thing that's going on. And I know I didn't like to be lied to, and I always did still have high standards as a kid in general. So I kind of was annoyingly fucking myself up with like, oh, you know what, let me
just go ahead and expect those right things to be done as an adult. Or let me expect for somebody to be responsible enough
around me, an adult or somebody to be responsible enough to not subject us to all this bullshit that's going on. Now, I necessarily not, you're probably like, oh, you're vaguely speaking a little bit, and that's only because that's my love for even the people that
you do right by me. I can still speak my truth and not fully blast you. So you're welcome.
That's the only thing I got to say. So with that, love was uncertain. Love was a bitch. I knew that I always was like one of those kids that always, I guess, made people feel better. Because once again, I'm a light worker. I walk in light. My path will always be bright, regardless of what darkness we gotta go through. You know what I'm saying? So I always was good at making people feel better, laugh, and all that other good shit. That's when I knew I could dish out the love and all the other parts. I guess when those moments calls for that to happen. But then after that, it was just like, I ain't really know how to take compliments or somebody really doing it. And I guess you should really that can come from talking shit. There's a lot of people back then talk shit.
Oh, leave me alone. I'm not American. I'm not used to all this carnage.
But I mean, I was a shit talker, so I'm not once again not a victim of it. Like, oh, well, it was me. Nah, I was talking shit, they was talking shit, we was talking shit, so that was that. So going back to these filthy lies spread on my wife here on the stage. That's a huge part of my trust issues. It's a huge, like one of the biggest parts. You have just damn near everybody around you just dumb shit. And I'm the type of person that I pay attention to everything. I catch everything. I observe everything. It's not a lot of shit that I don't peep. It's not a lot of shit I didn't peep. Whether I said it or not, I peeped it. So either way, people lie.
Lying ass bitch.
They're just lying about dumb shit, whether it's a siblings lying, fucking mother lying. It's about dumb shit. Oh, I do this. Oh, I do that.
You are a lying bitch.
I'll make sure we go here. I'll do that. I'll do this. Friends, or her friends, lie. It's a bunch of, they say birds of a feather. Caw. When you incorporate, just normal, quote unquote, white lies, spewing from left, right, east, west, south, north, and you peeping game on, this motherfucker is really this motherfucker lie, or this motherfucker don't keep their word. It's like, my surroundings, y'all really ain't about shit. Now, I thank God every day that he placed in me and instilled in me general at a very young age that you can't be like everybody around you. And granted, we all lie a little bit. What Beyonce say, you lied. Everybody told me a lie here and now and again, here and there, but thank God that you just instilled in me to not be like everybody in my surroundings. And yes, sometimes it's hard to not become a product of your environment, but thank God I am the living testament that you do not have to become a product of your environment fully. You can do other things. You can think outside the box that you've been placed in since birth. And I'm not just talking about that incubator. Yeah. So, little white lie here, little white lie there. Stories made up here, fables, tales. It starts to become, and it starts to feel like, well, damn, what is the truth? Oh, well, everybody lying. But once again, too, thank God, and also too, Virgo, gang, built-in lie detector. Mari, what? I'm saying, I'm catching this shit anyway. Good at detecting this shit. So, you can take your word, or you can, I got to a point in life to where I was like, listen, I like to be a man of my word, so words have value, but at some point I had to come to the conclusion with people to where it's like, I can't really give a fuck about your words, and put my expectations into those. Actions speak louder. But either way, so with that, it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna hold you to your word just because
That's what the fuck you said.
and ain't nobody asked you to say that, but since you said it, say what the fuck you said. I forgot what mean was, so you should have said what the fuck you said. So I'm gonna hold you to your word because that's what the fuck you said. Not that I believed your word, but I'm gonna hold you to it. So I got to the point in life where I'm like, okay, I hear you, but I'm gonna see you first. And that was just that on that no podcast. So add on trust issues, add on to the not liking uncertainty, because having uncertainty, or should I say being uncertain, you have to have a level of trust in whatever you're uncertain about to figure out that A, it's either going to work itself out, or B,
Some shit gonna happen.
some shit gonna happen. You know what I mean? And then you just move on from there. Also became accustomed to expecting the worst, but hoping for the best, quote unquote. And that's a defense mechanism that everybody goes through, because it's like your brain's trying to protect you from hurt and trauma and all of the other good shit. So when it identifies something that is a threat to either the mental, the body, the person, it's going to send off those signals to try to prevent and block whatever's coming, or whatever you deem as being a threat, physically, emotionally, mentally, so on and so forth. So that uncertain shit was ghetto as fuck. Also, I've had control issues accompanied with fucking uncertainty, because with those control issues, it's like, okay, I'm gonna try to control what the fuck is going on so I don't have to be uncertain. Like I said before, if you're an active listener to #TTOT podcast, you're understanding life, that shit is not going to work. You cannot control everything, because life is going to do what the fuck it's going to do regardless. So all of that just jumbled up to a whole bunch of trauma and trauma responses, defense mechanisms, questioning, skepticism, curiosity, but also not really knowing how to, or I'm not going to say not knowing how to handle situations with people. It just puts you on guard with damn near everything when it comes to handling people. You know what I mean? So that is most of the reasons of pushing that love factor. You gotta have trust. I ain't gonna say you gotta have trust to have love, because you can love somebody and not trust them. I love a lot of people and don't trust them. I'm working on that, but it is what it is. But honestly, now I'm at the point in life to where it's like, okay, we working on ourselves, because I'm doing the work. I don't just say shit and then not do it. I'm damn sure not going to give some advice and not apply it to my life. I've done that before, because they used to say the coach never plays, but they can give out the plays. But no, I'm put my money where my mouth is, applying my own work and words to my own life, and moving forward and moving on. So this isn't a episode to really be like, oh my god, fuck love and sad boy shit. No, we're not doing that. This is more so of a think piece questions, unpacked issues, and really just trying to figure out what the fuck love is. It's not really having the expression and not having positive examples of love and knowing how to receive it, knowing how to take it in, knowing if it's genuine, knowing how to decipher between how you should react to it when it's presented to you. Also too, because I often don't really believe in people, it's like when love presents itself or somebody's trying to, show that form, it's like, oh, okay, I've been trying to, soak it in and just be in the moment, but it's always in the back of my mind, like, yeah, okay, all right, oh, this is cool, this is cute, what's coming after that? Also, too, when you've been used and abused in life and, you feel like motherfuckers really only want something from you, or they really just want to use it to their benefit, but then when it comes time to you needing them or needing something in general, or shit, even if it's just an ear, mum's the word, you know what I mean? It comes from not being loved properly, pretty much. But then again, it's like, how do I know if I was loved properly if I don't know what love is? Question mark. And it's not that I don't know what love is, it's that I'm trying to get to the biggest picture of why I don't. Why it's at points extremely difficult for me to receive it. I mean, like I said, I know 98% of my problems. I'm just working on fixing them. So basically, it just really boils down to I really didn't get the love that I needed, pretty much. I, being a conscious and aware adult, could only wish that I had a me in my life when I was younger. And I just work on being that for my little brother and the people that I can be that to, the people that, that I get to experience in life, the people that I get to experience in me and all of my greatness in life. So we're just moving on. Once again, I ain't about to be sitting here crying and
I just want you all to know I had so many wonderful performances waiting for you. There were so many things I was going to give to you as my fans.
hold your tears. We ain't about to be doing all of that. We just talking, just talking. I know hashtag TTOT podcast, but I am your boy Poppy JB. This is another episode of the what hashtag TTOT podcast. Use that everywhere. I'm dead ass serious. Like, cut the cameras. Dead ass. I will fuck you up if you don't. No, I'm just like, yeah. This might be a continuation. What is love? Drop down in the comment section below and let me know, what is your definition of love? How do you, if you do, how do you display it? Do you feel like it's effective? Do you feel like it's always accepted? Another question. What's your love language? How do you receive love? How do you give love? How do you go about that? And for the burning question, Marlo, support me, bitch. No, I'm just letting. How do you feel, or what do you feel like could be the most effective way to show love? It can be universally, it can be personally, because everybody loves different. Or I just want to know. Just let me know. Drop down in the comment sections below. DM me, email, whatever. We can have a discussion. I might do a part 2. And shit, I might just bring back a relationship series, because it seems like y'all like that shit from season 1. So, also to drop down in the comments for the relationship series coming up. Possibly, what topics would you like for me to cover? I have a few in mind, but y'all let me know what y'all want to hear, what y'all want to talk about. Hashtag TTOT podcast, JB Gang Gang. We are out.
But before we leave, I feel like That's not all that podcast. Hashtag TTOT podcast. Like, comment, follow, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Hashtag TTOT podcast. That's not all that podcast. Gotcha, bitch. Still can't get that shit out my head. Nah, but hashtag TTOT podcast. We out. Skip.